The puppies grow by the minute and they start to play a lot more with also the grown-ups around them. Here you see Suki. Suki is a 20-month-old Rhodesian Ridgeback. She is amused by them in one way, and in another way, I think she is still trying to figure out how to treat them. At about 3 weeks of age, a very exciting period starts of socialization. The puppy is partly big enough to leave its puppy cage or wherever it's been staying until now, and it's also very receptional for other stimulation. This period will go on until 12 and 16 weeks of age, and during this time, the puppy will learn a lot about life, both how it should hang around with other dogs, and in this case the mother of the puppies have a role that is, well, it's so incredible important for them, but also around people. It will learn how to react on danger and threat. So a situation which causes trauma to the puppy in this phase can stay for the rest of the puppy's life. And during this period, the puppy's development of social behavior will devolve and it will find its own language. So it will learn how to give signals with their tail and ears, to show teeth and growl, and it can also defend its food. Most of these behaviors are like more of a exploring way. So they are basically training on their language. Most of the mothers of the puppies are very good at raising their puppies, and they give them very valuable learning and lessons through their own reactions. A puppy, for example, that will growl at his mother can be what do you say? Well, she will tell him off, and it will learn not to growl at big or older dogs. It is now very important that the puppy will relate a lot with both dogs and people. A dog that hasn't had any human contact before it's 4 months old is very difficult to be socialized later on. As the puppies continue to grow physically, it will be more and more ready to survive on firm food. The most common thing is that breeders give their puppy small portions of meat, and sometimes I mix it with egg yolk and a little bit of sour cream. But and I do that around 3 and 4 weeks, as you saw in the last movie. And if you didn't, check it out. The mother milk will always be the main course for them for a few more weeks. A lot of time it will continue up to 6 weeks of age, and then the bitch will tell them that it's time to stop drinking milk in any way she can, by going away or just tell them off. But my experience is that they actually continue to give them milk until they move, but they do give less and less. The autumn is here and the days has been colder and colder, but as soon as we have had a few warmer days, I try to let the puppies go out and play, and they do really enjoy it. And here you can see perfect examples of this socialization that we're talking about. Um, and they speak a lot. If something is not good enough and they're not happy about life, they will definitely let you know. Last year, the forest was taken down, a lot of it, and it has made our walks a little bit more difficult because all the paths that we've been walking earlier is basically gone. Sadly, we were struck by pests. So, well, we do our best, and there's still a lot of wildlife in this forest and on the fields. So, every walk is, well, a pure adventure. This was really an experience. It's been a while since I saw, well, actually, I don't think I've seen so many elks here at the same time. It was definitely two of them were yearlings, and I think they were about six animals. And I was so sad that I didn't have time to film them, but my hands were um, completely just busy holding the dogs back. I just love to take my girls and boys on adventures at least a few times as they live in my house. So this is their first trip in the car. I took Mother Kiki with them so they would be a little bit more relaxed. She is really the coolest and the best role mother. She is. I just think she's amazing. We went to the stables this time and it is very much appreciated. I don't need to say that twice. Most of the people around the stable are longing for these visits. The puppies was really starting to explore at once. They were curious and they went around and found some real good horse shit, to be to be frank. And well, they got a lot of love from all the people around the stable. Once, when we came home from this adventure, they slept a bit in the car, and I thought, well, they must be tired when we come home. But no, they were not. I introduced a little new bed because I needed to wash up the other bed, and the new bed was obviously extremely exciting news. So they needed to explore it completely for at least, I don't know, 10 minutes, and then they finally fell asleep for a while. The first meeting every morning is usually like this, and it's one of the best times I have. I usually get down and just sit down with them for a few minutes and just say hi and welcome them for another day. These are precious memories for me. Your puppy needs to meet and explore new environments and social gatherings in a calm and good way. Scaring and threatful situations will risk that the puppy get means for the rest of its life. So in any way possible, avoid to put it through strong impressions like fireworks, very big parties, dogs with aggression, or people who act very rough. The little puppy is also very, very easily taught. It learns very quickly, so you can early introduce it like potty training, tooth breath, and all other well, just handling the puppy, which is very, very important. Here I introduced a new toy for them, and as you can see, they start to explore at once and trying to figure out what to do with it. We had time for another short drive, and this time I went to the stable for a second time, but they got to visit our little plain but very comfy stable cafe. And well, yeah, as they usually do in a new environment, they get a little bit worried, but at the same time, they can't help themselves and they just need to explore. To be a breeder is not just about taking care of the puppies, there is also a lot of paperwork and preparation for the day when they move. We have the registration uh, papers for all the puppies, and I also always prepare a big information or well, a lot of information for the puppies that is mostly just okay. What I was going to say is an information about the puppy's first year and what you should think about having a puppy in your life, and hopefully giving all of you a good start. And then the morning was here. Time to get the first vaccination and to be inspected by the veterinary to make sure that everything is all right with you. And you will also get that chip in your neck. You have no idea of what is waiting. I am so thankful having a veterinarian who takes her time to make sure that the puppy is doing well and are satisfied by the treatment and just takes the time necessary to make sure that they don't leave the practice with a bad experience. All puppies went through this inspection without any faults. I'm always grateful when the puppies uh, are healthy after this inspection because there's always a tiny, tiny bit of worrying, not always even tiny, sometimes larger, because it's like you think that there's always something wrong with them. But so far, so good. And the vaccination, they didn't even feel the needle. And when the chip was done, they did not even react either. As you can see, he's just focused on eating. And I just love it, and I'm so grateful. When I go to sleep at night, bathed in stars and palest light, I know an angel guards my room. You might know him as the moon. Without fail, as sun does set, my dreams and I are gently met, to be looked over all the way, until we meet each bright new day.